Get in the zone, baby. Get in the zone. Come on. One take. Let's do this, baby. Okay? Ready. What's going on, guys? Jerry Neutron here, back with a brand new video. And check it out. Today I've got this XFX Radeon R9 380X Black Edition, which is factory overclocked. And today we're going to take a look at this card, take a look at its features, benchmark this baby, and then at the end I'm going to let you know whether this is worth the buy or not. So let's go ahead and get into it right now. Now. Alright, so check it out. This is AMD's newest Antiqua-based GPU, formerly known as Tonga, which is fully unlocked, unlike what you get in the R9 380 and R9 285. So it's got 2048 stream processors, 4 gigabytes of VRAM with a 256-bit memory bus, and on this card it has a 1030 megahertz core clock and a 1450 megahertz memory clock. You also get support for the newest APIs like DirectX 12, Vulkan, OpenGL, and OpenCL, and of course you get FreeSync support among many other things. Moving on, let's talk about the construction of this card. So you've got this black fan shroud with XFX branding sitting on top of the GPU heatsink, along with these two 90mm Cooler Master fans, which spin all the time, by the way, so there's no hybrid mode with the card where the fans will only turn on after a certain temp or load. You'll also notice with this design that the shroud doesn't really cover anything on the sides, so you can see your heat pipes running on one end, and then you can see the VRM heat sinks on the other side, along with the memory chips. You can even see the GPU underneath, which I think is pretty cool. I'm curious to see how this is going to affect the overall cooling of the card though, since everything is kind of just open. Now if we flip the card over, you can see there's no backplate covering the PCB. I don't really mind too much for a card in this price range, but I know some people will consider that to be a negative. It's funny, before the Jay's 2 cents backplate brigade was formed, backplates are kind of in demand, but now people are like,
where's the backplate on my R7 360?
So but yeah, no backplates here. Anyway, you'll also notice that there's two 6-pin PCIe connectors on the end of the card as opposed to the top where they normally are. So you have to account for that when you're working within a smaller case. That shouldn't be an issue for most people though, as this card is only 234 millimeters long. Now moving on to the I/O side, we've got HDMI 1.4, still no HDMI 2.0 for whatever reason, DisplayPort, and then 2 DVI connectors. And that's about it, so let's do some gaming and see how this thing performs. So, to get a little real-world feel for this card, I fired up Battlefield 4, and as you can see I'm playing on Ultra settings, 90 FOV at 1080p. I'm playing on the newly released Dragon Valley 2015 map, which I think I was playing on a 48 player map, but there were only around 20-ish people in there at the time. And as you can see, my FPS usually hovers somewhere in between 70 to 80 FPS, sometimes jumping a little higher when I was looking off into the wilderness and things like that. But overall, it played pretty well. There weren't any major dips into like 40 FPS or similar. And overall, it just handled the game pretty well on Ultra settings. I mean, I still got wrecked, but the card definitely handled its own, so no complaints there. But of course, Battlefield isn't enough to validate the performance of this card, so I ran a few more benchmarks, and here they are. Alright guys, so now hopefully you have an idea of how this card performs, so it's time to go ahead and wrap this up. Pretty much, this is a solid option if you're on the market for a 380X. Temps are kept in check by the cooler, it was fairly quiet as well under load. I like that the shroud is color neutral, so it'll fit into almost any build. No backplate though, so that could be considered a negative for some, as there are other brands in this price range which do include one. However, XFX has priced these cards pretty competitively, so you can expect to see them as some of the more cheaper priced options, which is never a bad thing. My only recommendation would be to go ahead and grab the non-black edition. That way you'll save a little bit of money and just overclock the card yourself. Now, speaking on the 380X in general, this is the card to buy in that $200-ish price range. However, as you can see, there's still quite a large gap between the 380X and the 390/290. I was hoping AMD would have given us something a little more powerful to work with, so I'm slightly disappointed there. But again, if you're shopping around that $200 price range, I'd still put together a few extra bucks and go ahead and grab the 380X. So that's about it, guys. Like this video if you like tropical dots. Let me know what you think about this card down in the comments below. And until next time, see ya. What's going on, guys? Welcome to this brand new episode of Build a PC, the all original YouTube series focused on building PCs for a specific budget.